Yes, sir. We are live on YouTube.
Yo, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the podcast. This is the Underserved Movement. You got the host with the most, Rel, right here, the co-founder of the movement, and myself, huge comedy. And there's no comedy here, nothing but straight political point of views. And if you don't know what the Underserved Movement's all about, we're a community. We're creating this community to come together for the betterment of people. All right, we're here for people that are living paycheck to paycheck, that need resources, maybe information, maybe people that are misinformed, you know what I'm saying? And we're here to, it's not liberal, it's not conservative, it's not Republican, it's not Democrat. We take the best ideas and we take that information, the best information, and move forward with the best ideas. And that's what we do here. So today's topic is Marjorie Taylor Greene, and we're going to be talking about fear mongering and how she's a master on how to use fear mongering to strike fear into her voters to get them to vote a certain way. And it's on both sides. Both parties are guilty of this, but none is more evident than the former president and Marjorie Taylor Greene, that's currently in office and won re-election from her 14th district of Georgia. And we're gonna play a video. If you're watching us on YouTube, you're gonna be able to see the video. And if you're watching us on TikTok, shout out to everybody on TikTok. If you got any questions, hit us up right here. You'll be able to listen to it. All right. So Rel, why don't you line it up real quick for us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And just to re-emphasize, she won her primary again. So she won against other Republicans that were trying to unseat her. She defeated her Republican competitors. So there still is the main election, which will determine whether that seat will stay red or go blue. But yeah, so let's go ahead and dial this up for you guys. This is just one of the many videos that you can find in TikTok world with this educated young woman.
Yeah.
All right.
The January 6th defendants are being treated differently on a
second.
whole nother level. They have been beat.
Let's get that going again. Sorry about that, guys.
The January 6th defendants are being treated differently on a whole nother level. They have been beaten by the guards. They are called white supremacists.
If you're a Republican, you can't even lie to Congress or lie to an FBI agent. They're going to put you in the DC jail and terrorize and torture you. And then they put me.
Hold on, bro. Okay, so what he just said was you can't lie to Congress.
That's insane.
Of course you can't.
That's insane.
I don't know. You're not supposed to lie in any trial, bro. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're not supposed to be able to lie anywhere. You know what I'm saying? To the FBI, any of that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, incredible. All right, so let's get back to this.
Put me in handcuffs, they bring me here, they put me in leg irons, they stick me in a cell. And what they did to me today violated the Constitution.
As a Trump supporter in America, you already know that cops treat people like us differently.
We can be profiled and misjudged anytime just trying to overthrow a free and fair election.
That's why it's time for us to have
The talk.
As a Trump supporter, it's important to remember that law enforcement is always out to get you. You can be targeted solely because of how you look, or what you chant, or who you're assaulting with a flagpole.
How many young and middle-aged men have already been arrested just because they tried to vote for Trump one too many times?
And then storm the Capitol.
And then posted on Facebook for some reason.
And they'll use anything against you. Your skin color, your politics, evidence.
If you so much as think about overthrowing the government and then actually attempt to, there is nothing anyone can do to protect you.
Well, unless your husband is like
Can you
us.
pause?
Yeah.
Can you pull up when she's talking about like the border and just talking about she talks about the invasion of Mexicans. But here's where I'm trying to get at with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Historically, she's followed in the footsteps of her role model, which was the former president. You get what I'm saying? The former president had a certain way of talking, which people used to give him credit for being real and authentic, you know, telling it like it is and stuff like that. But what people miss the mark, why people are so incredibly tied to him, is because it strikes a chord with ideas and fears that people have. Okay, when people are saying, yo, they're stealing your jobs, when people are saying, yo, there's an invasion on this country,
That the government,
it strikes, people have authentic fears of that. And people that don't know any better, people that are not well versed, not only in history, but maybe keep up with current events. Current events is key. Current events is key to keeping up with what's going on. And a lot of people are working 9 to 5 and don't really follow the news or know how to filter out propaganda or filter out false information to be to have the proper right idea and be like, you know what, there's people, it's not really an invasion. There's definitely or why people are migrating this way. You know what I'm saying? But she caters to people's fears so much that she actually has a following. Even though she sounds lunatic to the rest of us and sounds crazy, she has constituents that are willing to vote for her because they're being fear-mongered.
Yeah, definitely. And then, you know, these are public servants and they're put in a position where of trust. So the people that are voting for her and listening to her, they trust her. They trust her. They see her as someone who's educated, who knows what she's talking about, and as someone that's honest. And behind that level of trust is that fact that those people want to believe her. It aligns with their way of thinking. So they're like, well, she must be telling the truth because she's thinking the same way I am. And that doesn't make it true. Those are individuals that want to find someone that substantiate their beliefs and their point of views.
100%. Did you find anything?
I didn't find the one where she's talking about the border, but I did find a couple other gems.
Why don't you lace that up for us?
Here we go. So let's go ahead and hold on one second.
They gain support as a backlash from extreme PC culture. That's another thing. The PC culture is so bad. Yo, we don't, like I said, man, we're not conservative here. We're not liberal. We like to be somewhere in the middle and take the best ideas and move forward. But PC culture is bad, yo. We are for freedom of speech here, no matter how extreme, you know what I'm saying? But God, yo, PC culture will there's definitely backlash. I like what you said, Delta 9. Yo, Delta 9 said that they gain support as backlash from extreme PC culture.
Yeah.
And I couldn't agree with you more. Yo, shout out to Delta 9.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so this is another video that's been circulating on TikTok, making the rounds. Check it out here.
that the government totally wants to provide surveillance on every part of your life. They want to know when you're eating. They want to know if you're eating a cheeseburger, which is very bad because Bill Gates wants you to eat his fake meat that grows in a Peachtree dish.
A what?
A Peachtree dish.
That's not a real thing.
So you'll probably get a little zap inside your body that's saying, no, don't eat a real cheeseburger. You need to eat the fake burger.
Fun.
Yeah, so that's one that's been floating around.
In fact, you think that
Let's see,
That the government.
Here because we have concerns.
Go back to where she's in court.
Okie dokie, yeah. That's
in fact, you think that Speaker Pelosi.
All right, so I don't know if anybody's seen her go to court, but this is exactly what happens to politicians that lie all the way through until they get to court and under oath, and still they lie until they get caught red-handed with footage or audio or anything, and then backtrack. This was hilarious because she kept perpetuating this lie that she couldn't remember. She couldn't remember because, you know, you get amnesia, and once like shit started getting real for her, yo, she caught amnesia real quick. But then all of a sudden, oh, she's like, I remember. Go ahead and play that for her.
In fact, you think that Speaker Pelosi is a traitor to the country, right?
I'm not answering that question. It's speculation. It's hypothetical.
You've said that, haven't you, Ms. Greene? That she's a traitor to the country.
No, I haven't said that.
It's a crime punishable by death, is what treason is. Nancy Pelosi is guilty of treason, and we want her.
In fact, you think that Speaker Pelosi is.
Oh, that one didn't even show her. That one didn't even show her when she backtracks. But they
Marjorie Taylor Greene is.
She had said that she didn't remember or recall her saying that, and then they were about to submit some evidence to Exhibit A.
Oh no, yeah, but
like,
even here she was like, I never said that and this and that, and then they're like, there's a video of you saying it, you know?
It's just so insane, man. It's just so insane how she is a representative in Congress. You get what I'm saying? She's a representative in Congress from Georgia, District 14. District 14. And it's like, yo, she doesn't run on ideas. She doesn't run on policies. She runs on pure fear. Pure fear.
Absolutely.
And that's just insane. That's just insane. I don't understand. Like, I don't mind people disagreeing with other people. Just have some policies. If you don't like this idea, what's the alternative?
Right.
What is the alternative? If I'm presenting A, and you say no, that's not good, then you come back with a counter offer, right? And B, be like, hey, this is what I had in mind.
Here's the solution. Here's an option.
This is what I had in mind. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. But here's another one huge. I think this might be one of the ones that you were talking about, where she was kind of there when she was on trial. And check it out.
Go ahead, shoot it.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. Let me turn up the volume.
We're on YouTube too, guys. So,
yeah, everybody.
So if you want to see the videos, like, you can see it instead of just hearing it.
Yeah.
Check us out on YouTube.
Check us out on YouTube.
You believed that Joe Biden had lost the election to Mr. Trump, right?
Well, yes, we saw a tremendous amount of voter fraud. We have investigations going on right now in the state of Georgia. There's investigations going on in multiple states. My own husband showed up to vote in the general election, and when he went in to vote in person, he was told that he had already voted by absentee ballot, when in fact he had never even requested an absentee ballot. There's many instances.
You believe.
All right, pause that. So for those that didn't understand, being asked like what or did she feel like the election was stolen, and she perpetuates that and says that you know, mail-in ballots and all the normal like you know, vomit that usually spills out of her. But yo, Silly Pam says, left or right, why would you want someone to represent you like that? Yeah. Why would you want someone like that to represent you? I agree. And here's the thing. Mail-in ballots have been around a long time, decades. And it was meant for soldiers that were originally overseas, you know what I'm saying, that couldn't be on the homeland and be able to vote. But you know, it's been mainstream, especially with the pandemic, for people to just send in their mail-in votes, which I think is a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a great idea that people don't have to wait in line for hours just to vote, which is a whole nother problem in itself. It's a whole nother problem. Voting should be easy in this country, by the way. Voting should be made really easy. Shout out to Andrew Yang, because voting should be a holiday.
Yeah,
voting should be a holiday where everybody could go vote, have a good time. You know what I'm saying? There should be drinks at the voting station. There should be drinks, and I'm talking about let's get loaded. I'm talking about let's have a good time. Yo, if you and me are waiting to go vote, let's have a brewski.
Free tacos. That's what I say.
Let's have some tacos. You know what I'm saying? Cook up some burgers, pull out the grill. Let's make it a holiday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But the
And
whole
what
thing-
and huge, what's the reasoning behind what I mean, obviously, right? But what is the reasoning behind not making it a holiday?
Yo, it just makes it more difficult. I you know.
But why wouldn't everybody want voting to be a holiday? What's the negatives for that?
I can't think of any. I can't think of any.
But there's people that don't want that to happen, right?
Oh yeah, no. The only reason I think people would not want it to make it a holiday is just to make it harder or less accessible for
To
people
who?
to go
To who?
vote.
To who? The working class?
The working class,
The middle
You know what I'm
class?
saying?
And
The
who do
people that
they
can't take
tend
the
to
off?
vote for? Who do they tend to vote for?
Oh, you already know. You already know. You know who are they making it harder? The people that are suffering the most are the underserved.
There you go.
All right, the underserved are the people that suffer the most. Yo, what's going on, Nikki? I see
What's
you.
going on, Nikki?
But voting should definitely be a holiday, and Marjorie Taylor Greene should get voted out, man. Put a Republican in there that has
Yeah.
some policies.
Absolutely.
Put a
Yeah.
Republican in there that has some ideas.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Put a strong
Yeah.
Republican that can run on a solid base with
Yeah.
a plan.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is what I'm going to do for the district.
Yep.
And the crazy part is that when she ran for her re-election to represent
The primary.
the primary, yo, her challenger ate her up, and she still won.
Absolutely. What a difference. It was like night and day. I mean, this guy was intelligent, eloquent, spoke well versed, highly educated, had like plans in place, had policies in place. Oh man, it was like, how would you not vote for that guy?
Yeah, it just goes to show, man. Like, I education is so important. Here at the Underserved Movement, we believe in freedom of speech, Medicare for all, and we also believe in education. You know what I'm saying? Education is so key. Shout out to teachers. Shout out to all the teachers
man.
around the nation, man. Shout out to you guys, because you guys build the future. You guys invest the most time with our children.
Absolutely.
Yo,
man.
shout out to the teachers, man.
Yeah, it's absolutely criminal, man. And in this country, we don't value our educators, man. Like, it's just bonkers to me. Like, they deserve all the money that Hollywood gets. These these $7 million contracts for a movie, and all this crazy money that goes around to just different influencers and celebrities and things like that. And for teachers to be having to pay for their own supplies and going crazy, stressing, and then now with the added danger with school shootings, and even people suggesting like, oh, well, just give all the teachers guns. Like, okay, well, if you're gonna do that, then why don't you give them a lot more money?
Yeah,
At the same time.
100%.
Insanity.
100%. And teachers don't get background checks either, though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I love how these ideas are being suggested without even like being fully thought out. How about just think about it for a second? Yo, some of these ideas that they talk about is, let's give the teachers guns. Let's give the teachers guns and, put a cop at every door, switch up the locks. And it's like, hold up. We don't even spend the money to get everybody evaluated mentally, but we're going to give these guns to teachers, and teachers have the right to refuse too.
Right.
Like, teachers have the right to not be forced to carry a gun.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If, they have conscientious objectors in war, dude. In the military, you don't have to carry a gun. So don't think that like we're just gonna blanket all the teachers and give them all guns. Like, some of them are gonna object. You know what I'm saying? Rightfully so, if they want to. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, and then I just saw a video recently where they mentioned it was a soldier that was talking about it, and he mentioned, like the people in the military, they have constant training. They're just always being, more training, And not only that, he said, like, how are you going to continue doing that for the teachers? And what if teachers are human too? Like, what if they're having a bad day, and then now all of a sudden there's a weapon in their hands? And so you know, you got to think about it from all the different perspectives, all the different angles.
Absolutely, 100%. And and Pam says, for Congress to have hundreds of thousands of dollars just budgeted on furniture, but no raises for teachers is insane.
Yeah.
And I agree with Pam.
Yep.
And I agree with Pam.
Like we said the other day, bro, like not flying a jet, what was it, like a F-35 for an hour would give the teachers $40,000. You know what I mean? And I mean, not dropping a couple test missiles and stuff like that, like yearly, or just not building a $35 million jet. You know what I mean? Like, we looked at the numbers the other day, and it's like, what's more important, long term, for as a country, what's more important? Like, you gotta, right now, and everyone's talking about it right now, is focusing on the youth and protecting them and their mental health and stuff like that. If everyone's in agreement with that, then there shouldn't be any disagreement about investing more money into schools, into educators. There shouldn't be an argument there.
And it's $36,000 for 1 hour of flight for a certain airplane, and it goes higher than that sometimes, right? Depending on the airplane, it can fluctuate. But here's the thing: the money that's being thrown into the military industrial complex, right, which is just basically our military fund yearly, is over $800 billion. All right.
Yeah.
Over $800 billion every year into this military fund. All right.
The budget.
I propose that we just take 10% of that. Let's take 10%, which is $80 billion. And then we're going to take it. We give Israel $5 billion every year too. How about Israel? We're going to take 3 back. We'll give Israel $2 billion. So we're going to have a total of $83 billion annually that we can inject into education. Let's put a counselor. Look, instead of a cop on every school, let's make sure. How about we put let's put 3 counselors on every school. Let's put 3 certified counselors on every school. How about that? Instead of worrying about getting a cop and guns to every teacher and all that, how about we fully fund the 6 to 6 program that help keep kids and help kids stay, a little longer for activities, have activities for the kids and stuff like that. Like, how about that? How about we fully fund the art department? How about we fully fund some trade at high school levels? How about we get some welding trade to all the high schools? You know what I'm saying? Like, education is so poorly funded. Not only that, let's give some raises out. Let's give raises to the teachers too, man. It's insane how much they make, man. It's insane.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and somebody mentioned it here, like, somebody, $40 billion in Ukraine. I mean, and that's time of war, but still, that's an insane amount of money. And then a couple of things here, like somebody said, average, starting pay for teachers $45,000, which isn't very much, especially when you're expected to pay for your own materials, your own supplies, your own books, things like that. And you got summer where you're not employed, so you have to save up during the year. And then Silly Pam again with a good comment: teachers should get paid more than doctors, because doctors can't be doctors without teachers. They have to be educated by somebody, right?
100%.
Someone else said something kind of funny here that said, if my old teacher from history class in high school would have had a gun, he would have killed me.
yo, that's 100% true. That's 100% true. You know how much grief I gave my teachers?
Absolutely.
Yo, I gave my teachers hell.
Absolutely.
Except for like 3 of them. But even my favorite teachers, shout out to Warful, shout out to my math teacher, and shout out to Mr. Pena, yo,
Yes.
these teachers are so underrated. All right,
Absolutely,
I'm gonna make
bro.
something really clear to everybody.
Undervalued.
Right?
Undervalued.
They are so undervalued, and they planted seeds. They planted seeds in my life, and with the life experience, with experience being the water for these seeds, okay? Because I wasn't 100% okay, you know what I'm saying, going through high school and my tribulations and everything after high school. I wasn't okay, but these seeds of integrity, these seeds of thinking outside the box, critical thinking, caring, being a decent human being, like these are all seeds that were planted by my teachers. And because I got to live, I'm 35 years old, and with just living comes experience, and experience is the water to these seeds for them to blossom. It took me 2 years of prison after I got out of high school. You know what I'm saying? I went to prison for 2 years, and this experience of life watered these seeds to where I'm at today. And I'm thankful for my teachers. You know what I'm saying? And for them to have to come out of pocket for necessities, for markers, paper, for them to have the proper graphs and USB drive, like all the necessities for a student,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, like, is insane to me. What other profession do you pay? Do doctors pay for their own scalpels? Do they pay for their own gloves? Do doctors pay for their gowns? You know what I'm saying? Do they pay for their own assistants? Yo, I remember there was a time growing up, man, where teachers had help, when teachers had a TA. It's called a teacher's assistant. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? A TA. When they had some assistants with 38 kids in one class.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? With 38 kids. Yo, some of you guys can't even handle your kids at home, and all you have is 2. You know what I'm saying? But you're sending these devils up to school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And expect these, yo, I'm a firm believer, because some people are going to be like, yo, my high school teacher was a demon. You know, my teachers were unfair to me, blah, 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 blah. Look, nobody goes into teaching for the money. Nobody becomes a teacher if they hate kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Nobody becomes a teacher if they don't have time. What happens is that over time, with these curriculums that are being shoved down their throats by not only the state, but probably the county that they're in. You know what I'm saying?
Local
with all
level.
these regulations and these, and all the kids that they have to deal with day in and day out. Yo, these teachers have to be relentless when it comes to teaching, and they have to have this crazy amount of dexterity to deal with kids, bro. And yo, I'm telling you.
Yeah, insane amount of patience. And then, like you said, and then they have to deal with the parents who expect, my brother's a teacher in high school, and he has multiple classes. It's like 6-7 classes a day, 30-40 students per class. They each have parents, and each of those parents expects my brother and his colleagues to dedicate their focus to each of the children in the class. And so if that's the level of dedication parents expect, or we as parents expect, why aren't we more willing to give them what they deserve in order to get that from them? You know what I mean?
100%.
So,
100%.
Yeah, I know we drifted a little bit away from La Loca, La Marjorie, La Loquita. But I think it goes back, it still ties in, because I think this is one of the things that she's been talking about mental health and getting the guns out of the hands of children and making sure there's mental health resources and things like that. But I kind of don't believe when I hear certain politicians say things like that. I kind of balk at those conversations, because I feel like they're good talking points, and they're very like necessary to distract from other, like, what the real problem is, or more than likely is. And so right now those are good talking points, but then when it comes to saying, okay, you wanted this, you vouched for this, you asked for this, now sign here to give money towards this, it's over at that point.
Right.
So,
they'll talk a good one. They'll talk a good one. They'll talk a good one. Just like the bill, just like a bill that was recently killed because we couldn't get enough votes from the GOP. We couldn't get 60 votes in the Senate to get something done. And it was for gun. It was just for background checks. Yo, it was just for background checks. It wasn't even for upping the age, I believe. Yo, so they had 10 Republicans say, yes, we will vote for it. And we'll, we just got to get it to the floor and we'll debate it. So they said yes, just to like shut everybody up, right? Everybody's excited, right? And the following day, couldn't get enough votes. One of them changed their mind. And then for people that don't understand for how this works, the House drew up a bill, right? And then it has to go to the Senate for it to get passed. It has to pass the House, and then it has to pass the Senate. Now, when it goes to the Senate, you have to get 60 total votes, right? For it to be then sent to the president, and then the president signs off on it, okay? Now, we didn't get 60 votes. The day before, 10 okay, so for those that don't know, you know what I'm saying? There's 50 Democrats, except for you, and then there's 50 Republicans, okay, in the Senate, essentially, okay? There might be an independent or two, give or take an independent or two. Anyways, and then just so you know, Cinema is a Republican disguised as a Democrat, and also Manchin, Joe Manchin, also a Republican disguised as a name under Democrat. Anyways, so the day before this went through, 10 Republicans came forward and said, hey, we're willing to vote on the bill that you guys are talking about. All right. Then the day of, one of them, all it takes is just one. If they have 59 votes, it doesn't matter. It has to get 60 threshold. It has to get to the 60 mark. All right. And it failed. It failed. And this is just another goddamn strategy, right? Because people are going to say this. People are going to say, yo, Joe Biden didn't get anything done. Joe Biden didn't get anything done. What has he done? He hasn't done anything.
Yeah.
And I don't blame these people that just don't know any better.
Yeah, and especially right now, bro, I think one of the things that we can agree on is that right now with the House and the Senate both being democratically run, they still need the votes. Like, there's a process there. Like, people need to understand how that works. Like, because of the filibuster. But anyhow, there's numbers involved, right? But right now, the objective for most Republicans is to get elected, is to get those, take over those, to switch, to flip the seats, to flip the colors, to flip, the team. And so if the Republican colleagues are successful in passing bills and things like that, there's a less likelihood that they're going to be able to unseat them. So the objective right now is to not allow their rivals or their opponents to look good, and you do that by increasing the problems. I got a degree in marketing and advertising, and one of the strategies, and you'll see it in products, is to create a problem. So one of the strategies to sell a product is to create a problem. Like, and you've seen them huge, right? Like, you see the products like, oh man, don't you hate it when your roof starts leaking unexpectedly?
100%.
Buy it. So you establish a problem, create the solution, and that's all. That's a lot of what voting is you have to create all these problems so that you can be the solution to them. If there's no problems, then you're not the solution, and that's the way things are working with any seat in the House or the Senate. So it's a situation right now where they want more problems. The people that are running for these seats want more problems so they can pose as the solution.
And look, we're not we're not fans of Biden here. All right, we're not fans of Biden here. Okay, we want the best policies to come to the light, and we want them to get voted on. Okay, we want the best ideas. I want the best for every American. All right, I want the best for every American, man. When I talk to somebody that supports Trump, I'm talking to an American. All right. And anybody that's going to be watching this that's a Trump supporter or feels like I'm a little bit too liberal for them, or they might, because I'm telling you, it's not liberal or conservative here. It's not Democratic or Republican. It's the best ideas with the information we have, and we move forward with it. Okay. And that's what I want people to understand. I'm not talking to Trump supporters. I'm talking to an American. And I'm just like, man, what is it that people, what is it that Americans want? All right. And the overwhelming majority can agree on that we need background checks. All right. Extended background checks. And a mental evaluation. You know what I'm saying? A mental evaluation. But with fear mongering and people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Americans forget who they're voting for. And Americans forget, like, it's been so polarizing, and also just feels like a team atmosphere of like, well, I want my team to win. And they vote these people in there that don't have their best intentions at heart.
Absolutely.
Okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't care about anything but herself.
Absolutely.
And striking fear to her constituents, man. It's so insane.
Yeah. And this is something that I wanted to share huge. This is back in 2010, right? We're going back, but this is just an example of when Mitch McConnell, Senator Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, stated the single most important thing we want to achieve, right? Well, you would think like, oh, maybe energy independence, or like, getting people off of food stamps, or becoming the most educated country in the world, right? The single most important thing we want to achieve is for President Obama to be a one-term president.
Yeah.
Why is that the single most important thing? Why would that be? Like, think about all the problems we have as a nation. Why would that be the most important thing? It's crazy. And there's still people that have that attitude amongst voters. It's like, oh, like, I don't care. I don't care what's happening as long as XYZ isn't president. And we saw that a lot when Trump was president too. Like they didn't care. There's people that didn't want to hear anything. They just didn't want him there. You know what I mean? And whether they have valid arguments or not is up in the air. But I'm saying, like, why are we fighting that fight against each other instead of trying to improve everything for each other? And that brings me back to La Loquita, Miss Marjorie. Like, her rhetoric is just constantly division. It's just constantly division.
You said it right there.
And if it was division with substance, like hey yo, like blase about this side, and here's my solution and everything I'm gonna do to fix these problems that I'm bringing to you, then you're like, okay, well, she's presenting a problem and a solution. But when it's just division, bro, like, that doesn't help anybody. I don't want to see people that are in there that are just dividing us. Like, enough of that, bro. Enough of the division. You know what I mean?
Right. No, 100%. And that's the difference between here, like, at the underserved movement, when we say we're done with, like, the division, we have rhetoric, right? Like, when I'm telling you I'm talking to an American, I'm not talking to a Trump supporter, a Trump lover, or anything like that. I'm not trying to be condescending to the opposition, the people that are view things differently. You get what I'm saying? I genuinely want to have conversations with people that are willing to have those conversations.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But that's because a lot of people say, yo, we got to stop the division. We got to come together, but still hold extreme viewpoints.
Right.
And are not even willing to sit down with the opposition. And it's like, if you're really about coming together, then you'll be okay with sitting down with somebody that has a different point of view and discussing and having the best ideas move forward. You get what I'm saying?
It's just about trying to inch your way to something that helps, both sides. You know what I mean? But that's a difficult thing to do. I think especially nowadays, like, people just want to yell at each other. Like, people are so afraid of being wronged, or there's just this thing in our country where it's like being wrong is the worst thing in the world, or you know what I mean, not being correct, like, what a fool, like, what a dummy, you were wrong. And so because of that, we like dig our feet into the sand and into the ground, and we don't want to like stop and go like, well, wait, let me hear what they got to say. You know what I mean? It's tough, man. It's a tough thing, but I hear what you're saying, bro.
And look, just to cap it off, just to close it out, it's like, yo, what is the solution then? Right? What solutions do we bring? What alternatives, or how can we figure this out, right? And here, what I would say, the underserved movement will stand. The only way to get people to stop following or falling for this fear mongering is to have a better filter and understanding of what's going on. And the only way I can think of, all right, that's going to tie in all of this, is education.
Absolutely.
Education is key.
Full circle,
to having a better
full circle.
A better understanding of what's going on. Education is needed. We need to be funding education to the fullest.
Absolutely.
Instead of spending $1.2 billion on education and $800 billion on the military complex, right? It should be flipped around.
Right.
We really should be investing $100 billion, man, in education would be great.
Absolutely.
Kids having access to the internet should be mando. Kids should have access to computers as soon as they get to school. They should have lockers. They should have lockers with equipment ready for school. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could be doing so much for the future and investing into the future of this nation, man. Yeah, people need to start waking up and understanding that that's the only way that we'll be able to
get out of this mess.
100%.
Yeah, and one of the topics we can talk about next time, Huge, is who benefits from education levels remaining low and there being such a highly undereducated populace. Who benefits from that?
100%.
That's your question. Who benefits from that? When you're able, when someone in any political party, or in a business is able to take advantage of you because you're undereducated, those are the people that are benefiting, and those are the people that want you to remain undereducated. So we should fight for higher education because we are the ones that benefit, and we will be the ones that are able to see through that nonsense.
They just said in education, not indoctrination.
Yes, sir. Yep.
And so, with all that being said, man, that concludes this episode right here, man. I know we went around and around, left and right, and up and down.
Yeah.
But we made it full circle.
Yeah.
And our next episode, man, just stay tuned. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, man. This is the Underserved Movement. My co-host right here, man, Rel, and myself, Huge. And we're gonna bring teachers on. All right, we're gonna bring some teachers on.
That's right.
And we're gonna ask them a whole bunch of questions and just get a teacher's perspective of what's going on.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned, stay tight. Make sure you check us out on YouTube because we don't always go live.
Yeah.
All right, we don't always go live, but when we do.
Yeah. Anybody watching YouTube, TikTok, if you guys have ideas for podcast topics, if you guys have a unique perspective and you want to be on, if you're a business owner, you have a good story to tell, you're an educator, you know, pretty much any topic you can think of, if you want to throw them at us, you want to be a part of this experience, hit us up, shoot us a message on TikTok, YouTube. We're here, man, and we want to hear from everybody, and we want to make this platform as diverse as possible. So thank you guys so much for joining us. YouTube, TikTok, we love you guys.
And with that, the underserved movement, we out.
Peace.
Peace.